from the other side of it, the Brisbane Lions for me have been a superb team who keep putting themselves in position. I mean, it comes a time where they've got to deliver. For me, and I'm looking through this list, for me they're the team. And that's not even to be critical, because you've got to do your time sometimes, but they've been there 6 times in finals in recent times. They've won 1 and lost 5. Now, you get the tick for getting yourself into a position to be able to contend. That becomes something they've got to carry with them for a while.
Yeah, I don't think they've choked though. You know, I look at Port Adelaide's prelim final last year, and you could almost say, geez, they choked under the pressure.
No, not
situation.
A choke. That doesn't say that mightn't be choking, but it's 1 win from 6 finals.
Absolutely, but I think they've built nice. I think last year the challenges around losing Hipwood especially and Rayner for the whole season. They'll get those guys back. Hipwood will be back earlier than expected. I still think they're building.
Is there a time frame for that, or can you keep fronting up and not getting the result?
I think Richmond are the perfect example. In the last decade, they showed they built, they made some finals. They lost a couple of finals, and finally they broke through.
So you're confident they're going to
I think they got there before time, Gaz. I think they actually probably fast-tracked a little bit. They've still got upside. With blokes like Rayner, we know their forward line was a mess come September. I think the upside is there from Brisbane.
Pressure on for me for Brisbane for the season.
So I think Port Adelaide are the side that are under more pressure. And you're right. So for Brisbane, it was an accuracy issue, really, in a lot of those finals, whereas Port Adelaide did not show up. They just did not show up in that preliminary final last year. The year before, they have the home prelim against the Tigers. They dominated.
Could have won that.
And they could have won, but they were great. They just didn't get it done.
So what you're highlighting here, though, it goes deeper than that.
This is guys jumping out of the way, Gary. This is guys not going when it was their turn to go. So this was as bad a start to a game when the stakes were what they were as I can remember seeing.
How much damage does it do?
Well, that's it. That's the question, and that's the watch now.
So that's a question mark on them, is how they react to this.
Is what scars remain? What were the learnings taken out of this game, and what do they carry with them? I'm not saying that they can't do it, but I'm saying you talk about the time frame, guys like Boak, guys like Gray that have still been such significant contributors for them. Their time is running out. And so what do they do with this window of opportunity, Port Adelaide, and what scars linger from what was just an absolute nightmare in this
How early would Ken Hinkley have addressed this? We've often heard about, Adelaide, their bad loss in 17 grand final where they had a shocker and they didn't address it straight away. Would Ken Hinkley have addressed this straight away, considering those examples?
Oh, do you let them sit and sweat? Do you let them think about it?
Not for a season, not for a pre-season.
Not for a whole pre-season, Gary, but yeah.
I think when you call me Gary twice now, I know you're being very serious on them, so I think they've got the message. Port Adelaide for you, under a fair bit of pressure. Righto, our Amy Community Series observations, I don't know whether you draw much out of it, boys. You only get one good look at them in terms of the match sort of simulation, if you like. Brownie, the Blues, you saw a couple of things?
Yeah, obviously I'm watching closely because my old captain and coach, Michael Voss, is coaching. I think Carlton are on the right track, but, geez, the observation out, I'm looking at Mitch McGovern going, how didn't this happen 2 years ago? How was he not sent down to defence by David Teague and the rest of the staff there to play the same position that his brother has become an All-Australian dominant defender in? So he looked like a real natural there. He reads the play beautifully. Tough position previously, playing that third tall forward role. He's able to now read the play, jump at the ball, and I thought he had a fantastic impact, Rui.
So that Jones and Wiedering would probably be the answer. They were really well served back there, but he looked good. I mean, the challenges are going to come. I did that game, and he read it beautifully. Melbourne didn't put a lot of work into him, so the challenge will come when teams prepare for him, but he sees it really well and kicks it really well. I love Sard. Sard played genuine, defend first half-back, which I thought was a fantastic start. And
Cripps. What about Cripps?
I was down at Captain's Day the other day, and I thought I was talking to Anthony Koutafidis. Mate, he's rock hard, Patrick Cripps. Remember he had a fracture in his back last year. That would have been difficult, obviously. It would have been difficult just being a Carlton full stop last year with everything going on off the field. He's healthy. He looks magnificent, and obviously he was terrific at last game.
So he's made the move from...
Just on that, the Carlton fans sitting at home wanting to know whether this is sustainable and whether it's real, whether it's another false dawn. I mean, on the back of one, and albeit a very nice hit out, are we prepared to say that this is real?
I think they'll make finals this year. Right. Everyone's been talking up Essendon. Now, I know Essendon made the finals last year. They were blown away by the Bulldogs. I think Carlton across the board has a better team. I think their extremities are stronger than Essendon. I think their midfields are similar. Arguably, Carlton's is in front. So, a lot of talk about Essendon, where they're going to go this year.
So one practice game and you're saying it's real?
Well, I think they'll make finals. I think they're capable of making finals, obviously injury dependent, but so it's real. I'm saying top 8.
I reckon his old captain's still just... You know,
just walked past. He saw him in the window. Vossi's here for 360.
Cast an eye over him and he's still just got that little bit of fear for the old captain.
I think Vossi would be trying to go the other way. He'd be trying to downplay it. But the old blue bag of supporters will be getting
it's a good sign.
They'll be up and about. So McGovern's made the move from forward to back. Couple of midfielders. We see this coming into the game now. So Scott Pendlebury from mid to half back and Josh Kennedy to the same. Do you like it, Gaz?
I'm really interested with it. I think I never ever thought when I was watching Josh Kennedy play that he was a half-back flanker, and I'm not sure that Scott Pendlebury, because he's been a superstar, has had to worry too much about an opponent, although he can do a job. So I'm interested to see how opposition clubs prepare. Brad Hill you can throw into the mix as well. So make them defend is what I'm...
Callum Ward?
Yeah, I want to watch this unfold. I want to watch Josh Kennedy be made to defend. Now, I don't know whether the modern day game lends itself to that, but ask the question, and he might turn around and be an All-Australian half-back by the end of it, but I'm not letting Pendlebury and I'm not letting Josh Kennedy go back to the back half and do what they want.
The Pendlebury one I get because he's an architect with the footy, but Kennedy, I'm not sure what sort of role would that look like for him? You think he's not really the architect, is he, with the footy?
No, but he played it and played it really well.